gentlemen, we've hit the bottom of the hour. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with ZJ International. I hold the rank of a triple diamond in our company's compensation plan, and it's my privilege to welcome you to our Thursday evening executive overview of the income opportunity with ZJ International. This evening, in the next several minutes, we're going to cover the three essential ingredients that one would look for in developing a successful home-based business. We're going to talk about the experience of the corporate leadership, the right kinds of products to look for, and the timing. We're going to give you an opportunity to hear from a few people that are in the field with us, anywhere from just a couple of months to a couple of years, so you can hear what they've been doing to develop their business. We're going to have a couple of special announcements at the conclusion of the call, but let me go ahead and start right at the top. The three essential ingredients, and I'll share this with you. I've had the opportunity to be in this industry for a number of years, and when I was introduced to ZJ International, I based my decision to get involved with this company on these three criteria, what I've used to analyze a number of companies over a period of several years. The first and most important ingredient is the experience of the corporate leadership. Secondly was the products, and we're going to take a couple of minutes and talk about products, because there's certain products that lend themselves well to our type of business. And then finally, we're going to talk about timing. It's certainly an essential ingredient in success in just about everything we do in life. Now, that first ingredient, the experience of the corporate leadership. The founder and owner of ZJ International is a gentleman by the name of Ken Brailsford. Now, you may not recognize Ken's name, but you'll recognize the companies that he started. Ken is an icon in both the direct marketing and nutritional industries. Ken Brailsford and his siblings were the founders of Nature's Sunshine back in the 70s, and many of you will recognize that company name. Nature's Sunshine, now in business 40 years, has become one of the billion-dollar legacy companies within our industry. Ken went on in the 80s to be the founder of Enrich International. Many of you will recognize that company as well. Has also gone on to become a billion-dollar legacy company, now approaching 30 years in business. And see, for me, that was one of the primary ingredients that I was looking for. Now, I didn't personally know Ken 5 years ago when I got involved with ZJ International, but I certainly knew of Ken. The fact of the matter is, in our industry, over the last 60, almost 70 years that network marketing has been a profession, there have been literally thousands, probably tens of thousands of companies that have come and gone. Less than 24 companies have stood the test of time. They've become what we refer to as legacy companies. By definition, a company that's been in business 20 years or longer has achieved $1 billion in sales during that period of time and continues to grow to this day. Less than 24 companies, and Ken Brailsford is the only man in history that has built two of them. Certainly, from my perspective, I believe that one can judge the future from the past, and when you have somebody with that kind of tenure in the industry, to me, ZJ International, Ken's third and final project, was destined to become another legacy company. Now, what Ken has done over the last few years that ZJ has been in existence is he has surrounded himself with some of the top people from the corporate environments of some of the most successful companies in the industry. Today, our corporate team, including our President of International Marketing, Ryan Palmer, Jerem Daystrip, our Director of North American Sales, we have the who's who of the industry. Our corporate team is approaching 200 years of combined experience in some of the highest levels of the network marketing industry. Now, the products, let's talk about that second ingredient. And I've had many people say, well, Fred, shouldn't the product be the most important ingredient? And you would think so. However, over the years, I've seen companies with some good products come to market, in a few cases, exceptionally good products, and those companies aren't around anymore. So it takes more than just a good product to sustain a long-term residual income. And, so that's why I've always put the corporate experience as the first ingredient. But certainly products are foundational to any long-term success. Now, the kinds of products that we look for, this is where a lot of people aren't really clear on what are the kinds of products that serve our industry well. First and foremost, you look for a unique product. You want to be first to market. You want to have that leverage that comes from being the first people on the block with a particular kind of product. Secondly, you look for a product that is highly consumable, preferably something that is consumed on a daily basis, reordered on a monthly basis. Nutritional products lend themselves very well to our type of business, and it's why the lion's share of those 24 long-term companies that I mentioned a moment ago have a nutritional product foundation. But most importantly, and this is key for long-term residual income, the product has to really work. It has to make an impact on the consumer. There has to be a reason why the consumer will continue to purchase, month after month. Now, we were very fortunate that Ken Brailsford almost accidentally stumbled upon our product line. See, ZJ International, while we've been in business now approaching 7 years, the real ZJ story started a couple of years before that with an hour-long documentary that aired on the Discovery Channel. This documentary introduced us to a botanical, a tree, if you will, by the name of Moringa oleifera. Now, this tree, pretty much unheard of in the Western world, what we learned from the Discovery Channel documentary, this tree had been used in some of the most, desolate, poverty-stricken, arid regions of the world to literally reverse childhood starvation in as little as 2 weeks, a very small quantity of the powdered leaf of this tree. Well, that was not only, significant in and of itself, but what was extremely important was that this particular botanical was doing this much more quickly, much more efficaciously, and much less expensively than some of the finest nutritional products and medications known to the Western world. Now, since that original documentary, we've had overwhelming third-party validation of the nutritional power of this tree. There are today over 200 worldwide organizations, humanitarian organizations, that endorse the use of the Moringa oleifera tree for nutritional purposes. Countless numbers of universities and medical schools, many governmental agencies, including the National Institutes of Health. Matter of fact, the NIH in 2008, in their April edition of their newsletter, they reported that the Moringa oleifera tree was their botanical of the year. They indicated that it was the most nutrient-rich botanical they had ever studied, and to date over 5,000 botanicals the NIH has studied. They even went on so far as to say that the Moringa oleifera tree had been used in traditional medicines for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years to treat or cure over 300 diseases and ailments. Well, we're very fortunate that original documentary from the Discovery Channel, a videotaped copy of that was forwarded to Ken Brailsford. When Ken saw that documentary, what he recognized is he could do more good for mankind with a single botanical than he had with perhaps hundreds of other products from his previous two companies, and that was the birth of ZJ International. Now, we were very fortunate. Ken had not only the ability to see the potential of this product, he had the credibility in the industry and the financial resources to bring it to market. And we launched our company a short 7 years ago with our original smart drink. It was the Moringa oleifera tree in a can, if you will. And today we have a complete line of products, 3 separate divisions, our liquid nutritionals, where we can have our consumers use a serving a day of this nutritious product, get all of the nutrients the body needs to sustain optimal health. We have included in that division, we have our new sports energy drink, if you will, the healthy alternative to the power drinks like the Monsters and Rockstars and what have you that are on the marketplace. We've expanded into a line of personal care products. We have a line of salon-quality skincare products infused with the nutritional power of the Moringa oleifera tree. And then finally, we expanded into our third product division, which is our weight management system. When we entered into that third product division, that's what really started the growth of Zege International. In America today, it pretty much goes without saying, any Western world, obesity has become epidemic. The vast majority of people in North America and throughout the world and Western civilized nations, they're looking for a way to lose weight on a healthy basis, to do so without dieting and exercise. Today, we have people using our weight management systems who have gone on to lose, 5, 10, 20, 50 pounds. We have people that have lost in excess of 200 pounds without dieting, without surgery, without drugs. And what we're doing today is we're bringing to market products that make a difference in people's lives, to provide real results, and they do so, for literally, the kind of pocket change the average person goes through on an average day. And when you have products that meet genuine need, and there's no other place to get them but through an independent distributor of Zege's products, that's what creates opportunity. Now, before I go into the third area I want to talk about, which is timing, I want to give you an example of what's happening with people in the field today. I'm going to go over to British Columbia on the west coast of Canada. We've got one of our newer distributors with us. We have Ruth Verbray with us, who has just in a very short period of time launched a home-based business already into profitability. Ruth, it's been great to get a chance to meet you over the phone. I'm extremely excited for what's happening with you and your husband Bob's new business. I want you to take a moment, join us on the line, Ruth. Maybe share a little bit about your background, why you got involved with Zege, and what you're doing to launch your business so quickly.
Well, hi, Fred, and thanks so much for allowing me to share my story. I work part-time as a medical transcriptionist at our local hospital, and my husband, Bob, he's a sergeant with the RCMP. We've been looking for a part-time business that we could carry on after his retirement. We were on holidays, Fred, when I heard that my friend Diana had great results with both inflammation and weight loss from being on the product. She connected us to Leanne Lorenz Rawlings and Carol Joy Green, and we got started on the product right away. In just a few weeks, Bob and I were feeling so much better. We have just so much more energy, and we just feel better than we have in years. It's given us a whole new lease on life, Fred. It's awesome. We joined with the Builder 2 system so that we could maximize our potential to make money in a short period of time. This gave us enough products for our personal use, samples to give to our friends, and let us maximize the compensation plan. We plugged into a simple, duplicatable system, and we've already hit the Builder 1000 level. In just less than 90 days, Fred, we have recouped our initial product cost, and we just love the products and are just so excited about Zege International. So thanks again for letting me share my story, Fred. Now back to you.
Listen, Ruth, that's incredible. I'm very excited for what's happening with you folks. Congratulations, because you're also building a really strong team now up in British Columbia. Thanks for sharing your story. And ladies and gentlemen, Ruth is just one example of people throughout North America, and now actually over 30 countries in the world, where you can actually conduct a Zege business, who have been able to plug into a simple, duplicatable system that's designed to get immediate results. Now let's take a moment and talk about timing. Timing is essential, I think, for everything that we do, but in our particular type of business, it is critical. See, as I shared with you, the opportunity to be involved with a legacy company that comes around, once or twice every decade. With Zege International, we've got the best of both worlds. We have a company that's been around long enough to establish some stability, to establish some infrastructure, that now has resources to put back into the distributor base. Yet we're early enough that you're able to be involved before the masses. And that's really the key, is to find a company going into what we refer to as the momentum stage, what we're probably more commonly referred to as the explosive growth stage. And in technical terms, that what you look for is a company that is somewhere between their first $100 and $200 million a year. That's that rare time in the growth profile of a company where they've got the stability, the structure, and the resources, yet it's still young enough that you can be in at the beginning of the growth cycle. That's exactly where we are with Zege International. We just completed our first $100 million year. I had the good fortune a number of years ago to join a company at that point in time, and literally in just the space of a few short years replace, a couple of lifetimes worth of work. It's the ability to compress time. And one of the things I recognized, fortunately, as a much younger man, is that if you're going to work anyway, why not do it for a short period of time and get it over and done with? Now, today, because of the stage of development of Zege International, we've been able to bring to the table a number of programs to enhance the abilities of our distributors to get into profitability right away and to create long-term residual income. We have a program called Team 250, which allows us, for simply doing what we do, sharing with people an opportunity to improve their health, for literally pennies a day. We have this program allows you to be able to receive your own personal product supply for free, paid for by the company, which ultimately creates a zero overhead business. We've instituted a luxury automobile program. We call it Team Benz, where the company will literally allow you to purchase a Mercedes-Benz and they pick up the payment. Now, luxury automobile programs are not necessarily unique in our industry. A number of companies have that. However, we've done something different. We've brought that program into the literally the entry levels of our distributor base. Our part-time people are qualifying for the luxury automobile program. As a matter of fact, let me do this. I'm going to go back up to Prince George in British Columbia, and I'm going to call to the phone Carol Joy Green. Carol Joy, it's been a real pleasure to watch you build your Zege business. You started on a part-time basis. You're already at the gold level of our compensation plan in qualification for the Mercedes-Benz program. Carol Joy, why don't you take a moment and share with us a little bit about what you've done to launch your business, why you got involved with us, and what you see happening in the future.
Sure, Fred. Thank you very much. Before I had my children, I was involved in a variety of professional positions, from managing a busy physician's practice to working in the advertising industry. But when my children were born, my husband and I decided I would stay home with the kids, which I loved. And after being a stay-at-home mom for many years, it was time to contribute to our family's income again. My kids are now in high school, and I was looking for an income opportunity that would flow around their crazy schedule. I fell in love with the products when my good friend Cheryl introduced them to me, and when I had a look at the business, I saw a way to build a full-time income while still being at home for my family. I got started with the Builder 2 system because it gave me a lot of product for our own use and for getting out to others as samples, plus I liked the idea of maximizing the amount of money I could earn with the compensation plan. So then I just began using the simple, duplicatable system I was taught by my upline, and I've been getting weekly paychecks ever since. I enjoy being a gold executive with Zege, working hard to be Ben's qualified, and I've come a long ways towards my goal of creating truly replacement income. And at this point, something that I enjoy most of all is helping other people in my team do the same thing, create the income that they're looking for to help them with retirement or stay home with a child or whatever their dreams are. So thank you, Fred, for having me on the call. I'll turn it back over to you.
Carol Joy, thank you so much, and again, congratulations for what you're doing. I know that your organization started there in British Columbia. You're now stretched across Canada and into the United States as well. It's really a sign of leadership that you're doing to build such a great team. Again, thank you, Carol Joy, for joining us on the call. And ladies and gentlemen, you're starting to get a feel for what one does in our business. A lot of people perceive our business to be a business of selling products, and certainly you can make some good supplemental income doing that. The real power of the network marketing industry is to create leveraged residual income. And those two factors are essential to true long-term wealth. leverage is essential to create significant income. Back when I used to work for a living, I thought I had it down. I realized that if I worked twice as many hours, I made twice as many dollars. But that was linear income. It wasn't leveraged. The wealthy have leveraged income by employing many and getting a small piece of each one of those people's efforts. That's what's available in the network marketing industry. But something else that really is not available in traditional business is the concept of residual income. Because as you develop distribution organizations, people start consuming the product. Once a sale is made, we have a literally unbelievable repeat customer ratio, and therefore you have ongoing income. It's a combination of leverage and residual income that creates true long-term significant wealth. And really in our business, probably the greatest part of our business is that success is built upon helping others become successful. I'm going to go over to Georgia. We've got Dee Dee Shaw also ready to come on the line. And the people that you've heard from, our first two ladies this evening, they're actually members of Dee Dee Shaw's team. And Dee Dee Shaw has now hit the emerald level of our compensation plan. Our emerald level is part of our leadership. We reserve certain things for the people that are making commitments to building this business. Part of that includes additional income streams along with our profit participation program. It's an opportunity to be able to receive up to 25% of the profits of Zija in a pool for our leaders. Dee Dee Shaw's in qualification for that now. Dee Dee, you have a great story because while you've built an international business now, you've done it from home on a part-time basis as a stay-at-home mom. Would you take maybe just a couple of minutes, share with the folks a little bit about your background? We've got a lot of new people who aren't familiar with you. Share with them a little bit about Dee Dee Shaw's life, why you were motivated to get involved in a home-based business, and what you've done to build such a tremendous organization.
Well, thanks, Brett. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 14 children, and currently 9 of them are still at home. I think we had 11 at home when I got started with Zija. Well, no, it was 12. When I got started with Zija in 2009, the end of 2009, I really wasn't looking for nutrition. I was looking for a business opportunity. And the things that you've listed off tonight and explained were actually things that I was searching for a company that had all those things, that had the leadership and the product and the timing. And when I was introduced to Zija, I knew this was the company for me. I've heard people talk about the Ken Brailsford story, drawing people away from six-figure incomes. And I can understand that. Having built 2 other legacy companies, it was really easy for me to know that this was a company that was going to go where I wanted it to go. And we were in pretty desperate straits at that time. I tell people they're not people by the dozen. And in 2009 was really when the economy was tanking in the U.S. And so my husband and I were looking for some way to add a significant income to our family. But obviously with as many children as we had, I couldn't go back to work. There wasn't enough time in the day for me to trade dollars for money, time for dollars. So I looked at the company, decided to join, and we were just strapped. And I knew that I needed a builder system, so we actually spent our grocery money to buy a builder system. Within the first week, I had sold all my samples, had recouped all my initial investment, was in profitability mode. My first check was, I think, $585. And so that was just the beginning. And it's like you said, residual income is not something that we typically think about. We think about trading time for dollars. My husband is salaried, so actually the more hours he works, the less he gets paid. And he hates what he does, so that's really my why. Turning this part-time business into something that's going to create not just supplemental income, but replacement income, and we're just looking forward to that happening. It's right around the corner. I've enjoyed being able to help people like Carol Joy and people like Bruce to achieve their goals, and it's just been such a joy. It's so simple because we have a system that we can put in anybody's hands, and anybody can do this business. Obviously, if a stay-at-home mom that has to work around a busy schedule with 9 children can do it, anybody can do it. And so that's one of the things I really like is I can lay it out. It's turnkey. We have this system that anybody can use and build a significant income. I'm looking forward to the future for it and being able to help lots more people. Thanks for the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Dee Dee, and I appreciate you taking a little time this evening to share your story with the folks on the call this evening. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard a little bit about ZG International. You've learned a little bit about the kinds of things that one looks for in a company to align yourself to develop a home-based business. Certainly the significance and importance of experience of the corporate leadership, the right kinds of products, and then certainly timing. And as the people that you've been hearing this evening, people from all walks of life are finding a way to be able to, supplement their income. For most people, an extra, $400, $500, $600, $1,000 a month would change their life. And for many people, it's an opportunity to go beyond that and create a full-time income, and in many cases, what we call life-changing income. And so what I want to do right now in closing is 2 things. First, for those of you that have been an invited guest, your friend or family member or coworker perhaps has been sharing information with you about the company. I want you to give them a call as soon as we're through here. Get them back on the line. Get your questions answered. There's many people out there that are here to work with you. Learn about our builder systems. Make a decision to get involved with the company. And then secondly, for those of you that do make that decision, we're going to be hosting a very special Fast Start training on Saturday morning. It's going to be on this same conference number. It's going to commence at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's East Coast time. That'll be 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. We're going to have one of our top trainers, Mr. Paul Lovato, out of Las Vegas. He's hit the emerald level of our compensation plan. Certainly has a reputation for being able to share exactly what you need to do step by step to build your ZG business and get the kind of results that you're hearing from our guest speakers this evening. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out the call, open up the lines. One last shout out. Thank you to my guest speakers this evening for taking time to share their experiences with our guests this evening. With that, I'm going to open up the lines. Have a wonderful evening. We'll look forward to seeing you on our Saturday morning Fast Start training. The lines are open.
Thanks, Fred. Ladies, Fred, and Rachel, all come call. Thank you again.